We're going to have a look now at the myosh app for the Viking platform. This is available in Apple and Android stores, and you can simply download it for free. The first thing to do, obviously, is to log into the app. So we'll click on the app and enter the username. Once we've done that, we'll click on Continue and enter the password. So what we'll do here is we'll click on Return at the bottom and open the home page of the app. Now what we've got on the home page are, across the top, a slider bar. This slider bar gives you access to all of the things that you can do. You can create an action, you can build a document, you can create a hazard. And as you scroll across, you can see create injuries, create a light vehicle inspection. Below that, what you've got is the ability to scan a QR code. So if we click on that, what this does is opens a QR code scanner. You can use this to scan any QR codes that you might have, and the information that gets returned to you will really depend on how you've configured the system in the first place. The frequently used section in the middle here, this contains all of the things that you've clicked on a lot, so that you don't have to now scan through the slider bar to find them. At the bottom, what we've got are 4 tabs, and at the moment, clearly we're on the Home tab. So we'll move across each of these in turn and have a quick look at those. The Modules tab, this now lists all of the modules that you have access to. Now the difference between clicking on the Modules tabs and on the slider bar tab that's in your home page is that when you click on one of these modules, we'll grab Injury Management, which is just over here on the left-hand side in the middle. What it does is it shows us a bunch of documents that we might be interested in, things that we've been assigned to deal with. And of course, injury management being important to the company and having a lot of privacy considerations, you would really only be able to see these if you actually had access. But let's say we wanted to create something new. The Create New bar or button is up at the top on the right-hand side. If I click on Create New, I can now select the injury report. Now the only reason that I only see one document here or one form type is because I only have access to one form type. But as an injury manager, there might be multiple form types, and I could select which form I wanted to create within the injury management module. Now this is different if we go back to the home page for a moment to the slider bar, which allows you to click on one of these links and open just that form. So back to the second tab, the Modules tab, we said that all of these are modules that you have access to, and this will entirely depend on the access that you have to myosh. That access will be reflected in your access on the app. Moving along to the next tab at the bottom, My Activity. This is a list of all of the documents from all of the modules that you have that are for your attention. So you may have been sent actions, you might have been asked to investigate an incident. There could be an awful lot in here, and you can go and have a look at any one of them. There is also, if you look in the top right-hand corner, a filter and a sort option. And if you click on filter, you can select any of these filters and filter your results by just the things you want to see at the time. The last tab at the bottom is the Me tab, and that contains details about you and also contains the ability here, a button that allows you to log out of the app. What we'll do now is we'll go back to that Modules tab, second from the left, and we'll go and have a look at how the app responds to you within a particular module. So the one I'm going to look at is this one in the top right-hand corner, Incident Reports. So we'll click on Incident Reports, and what I can see here is a whole bunch of incident reports that I have access to. I'm going to choose that top one, Excavator, Bucket, Hit Truck and Hurt Worker, click on it, and what this does is opens up the document. Now I can just review this document by clicking on the next button, but because I have the right level of access, what I can see is the Edit button. So I'll click on Edit. Now I can move through the document and I can edit things as I go. I'm fairly okay with the hierarchy, so I'll click Next. Bit of information about the reporting person, click Next. some details. Now you can see if I keep on clicking next, I'm going to be here for a while. But if you look at the top, what you can see is that I'm on page 3 of 17 with a drop-down arrow. If I put my finger on that sentence, what it does is it opens up all of the pages that make up this incident report. And then I can scroll up and down and I can go to whichever page I want. So if I want to go to the investigation section, which is now in the middle of the page, I'll click on it, and what it does is it opens up the investigation section, and that turns out to be page 11 of 17. Now, an incident report is quite a long document, and depending on who you are, you'll be doing more or less to the document. If you're a basic user, all you'd be doing is logging the incident report, and really after that, not be interested in seeing anything more. You would then not be able to see, based on access controls that are set, any of the investigative processes or the information about how a person was treated for their injuries. I'm logged in as an administrator, so again, I can see everything. If we go and have a look at that drop-down list of sections again, and we scroll down to the bottom and we look at links, what I've got here are potential links to associated hazards. So what I'm able to do is create a link to a hazard. By clicking on Create New or Select Existing, I can link to hazards in the environment that have potentially contributed to this particular incident. Similarly, just above, I have associated actions, and I can click on to create a new action. These actions and hazards will get generated and they will go into their own modules, but they will be linked to the incident module so that you as an investigator can click on the incident module and see all of the related links, and click on those links and see the related documents without ever navigating away from the incident. Again, depending really on how the system is being configured, there may or may not be a sign-off section into which you can sign your name, and followed by a photograph section where you can take photos and attach them, or you can use photographs from your gallery and attach those. Once you've completed this, you click on Finish. Finish will then cause myosh to communicate with the server, and anything that you've then entered on the app will be sent to the server at that point in time. It takes about an hour for the information to be sent from the app and refresh on the server so that you can see it on a laptop. Now, if you look down at the bottom, there are a couple of indicators: syncing completed and online. The online indicator obviously indicates that we are currently online, connected to the internet, but myosh works offline as well. So if you happen to be offline, the indicator would be a different color. Syncing completed means that once you've pressed finish, the information is then sent to the server. And once it's completed its sending process, syncing is considered to be complete. If you're offline, it won't happen until you reconnect to the internet at some point in time. So if you happen to be on a plane, you can log a bunch of information. When you get off the plane, reconnect to the internet, that's when you'll see the syncing completed. What you can also see on this screen at the top is an exclamation mark. This tells us that we've missed out some important fields. So if we click on the exclamation mark, what it will do is it will take us to the section that contains the fields that we haven't completed. And if we click on that section, what it does is highlights those fields that haven't been completed. So the whole idea about this is you should not be allowed to submit a document that doesn't have mandatory fields completed, and this is the same as it is in the laptop version. So all that remains really is for you to get hold of a trial login, or if you already have the product, download the app from the appropriate store and log in with your details that you've been provided and see what you can see. Again, to reiterate, what you're going to see and be able to do will pretty much mimic what you can do on the laptop itself. So if you have a low level of access on the laptop, you shouldn't expect to be able to do more than that on the app. This concludes this summary of the myosh app functionality. Thank you very much for listening, and bye for now.